What's up, everybody? And today we're doing something a little bit different, something that I haven't done yet, as far as I'm aware. I'm going to talk about my Commando tests. I get a lot of people asking about my time in the Royal Marines, so I thought I'd go over the Commando test specifically and what I did and how I found the Commando tests and kind of my experience going through it and getting my Green Beret, which was pretty damn amazing as a teenager. I don't have my Green Beret with me on the bus, but I certainly have my Commando dagger right here, which you can buy as soon as you get out of training. But there was a question of the day that prompted this. We had a question of the day. I'm going to pull the question of the day up. It's from Andrew B. He says, as a 17-year-old getting fit for the Royal Marines, a quick question I have is, why is the Royal Marines training harder than the Navy SEALs training, even though the SEALs are a special forces? So I can't sit here and say Royal Marines training is harder than Navy SEALs because I haven't done Navy SEAL training, right? And what I do know is that Navy SEAL training is a little bit more specific to what they have to do. I wouldn't say one is harder than the other. I just know that Royal Marines training is one of, if not the hardest basic military training in the world. And we'll go over that with the Commando test. It was very, very difficult and one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, obviously. Not everyone gets a Green Beret. And there's the old recruiting ad that said 99.99% need not apply is a true statistic. Is a true statistic. For the people who sign up on the dotted line, to the people who get a Green Beret, 99.99% fail, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. But the reason, let me pull this up. The reason I saw this is on one of my oldest videos saying why most recruits fail Royal Marines training. Now, for those of you who don't know, I do read all of my comments, or at least the majority of them. Let me pull this video up. I haven't seen this video in a long time. Let me get this up real quick. God, this is an old video. Should we just watch this real quick and then we'll talk about... Well, no, we won't watch the whole thing. But let's just... let's have a quick look at what my old videos used to be like. The music. Back when Original Human was doing fitness stuff and I haven't got a dad bod. What's up, everyone? So I'm actually going to start this video off a little bit different. I'm gonna tell you... Look how young I look and skinny I look. Oh my days. Full of youthfulness before I had children. I got some important material up there in the top corner, Commando on the front line, and the book that goes along with my little Commando action figure, my Green Beret, and my Commando dagger behind me right here. That's so interesting. Look how skinny I was. Wow. Times have changed. Times have changed. But I thought that was an interesting video, and it made me want to look at the Royal Marine Commando tests on the Royal Marines YouTube channel and kind of go over the videos, have a look at them, and kind of give you my perspective as we go along with them. So we'll watch the first one. If you don't know, there's 4 Commando tests, right? There's the Endurance course, the 9-mile speed march, the Tarzan assault course, and the 30-miler. You have to pass all 3 of them to get your Green Beret. Simple as that. They're done over 4 days, and they are tough as nails. The thing that gets you through this is the fact that you've done 32 weeks of training already, right? It's already been a slug. It's already been difficult. So by the time you get to the Commando test, you're an experienced recruit. The training team don't want you to fail. They're trying to get you to pass because at the end of the day, you've gone through the whole of training. The only thing that's stopping you is a run, and they know that you're capable of it because you wouldn't be in that position, right? So everything's helping you. It's all in your head, and your fitness is there. So it's not a case of fitness. It's a case of not getting injured and whether you've got the determination to do it. So this is the first one, the endurance course. Let's quickly watch this through. I love these cheeky little intros. I like the music. Oh my god. Oh, the anxiety. I had that weird, like... Alright, Gender, if you're watching this, any other Royal Marines watching this part here... 3, 2, 1, go! I was... So, obviously, my last name's Gillings, and they go in, like, alphabetical order of who's starting off the test, and the going in 3s. They're going 3s for the reason of when you get into the sheep dip. Is that what it was called? The sheep dip? I can't remember. You need 3 people to do it. So, and you'll see that on this. But I remember just jogging in one spot, just waiting, ready for him to say, 3, 2, 1, go. And the anxiety and the anticipation, the excitement knowing that this is it. This is the start of the Commando test. Wow. I think I actually passed it. I think I got like 61 minutes for those wondering. 61, 62 minutes, around there, which was a very pleasant surprise for me because I was never like the fittest in the troop. So to get below like 65, and I think it was like 61, 62, 63, I was thrilled with it. It was a great start for the Commando test. Woodbury Common! Get in the organ! 2 miles cross country. Yep. Sheep dip. Get in the organ. And then a 4 mile run back to camp. Yep. So the hardest part, this was obviously a difficult test. I don't remember, I don't think anyone in my troop failed the run. At the end of the run, you have to shoot. You have to shoot your rifle, and your rifle has to work. That's where lads failed. If I have noticed, though, and let me just play a little bit of this. Let me point something out to you very quickly. You just saw it there, a tiny bit. He's got a cover on his muzzle. You see that plastic cover? As far as I can remember, we didn't have any covers on our muzzle, but I might be wrong. Because remember, you do run-throughs of this prior to actually doing the test, and I could be just thinking of some of the run-throughs. But I remember when we actually did it, I could have sworn we didn't have anything on the end. I could be wrong. I passed out with 995 troop. If anyone from 995 is watching this, remind me. Yep. And then I run back to camp for 4 miles. See, like, you've got some of the training team there with you. And for the most part, they want you to win. They do want you to get through this. They want you to pass. They want you to get your green beret because they've trained you for 32 weeks. At this point, you're close from being an oppo with them. You're close from being a friend and not just a recruit anymore, not just a nod. We call recruits nods, but you're that close to the point of, like, I remember one of my training team being like, as soon as you've done this, let's get a pint. Like, that's what it's like. Yeah. I'm going to turn it down just because of the music a bit. I don't know what it is. Like, seeing this gives me that anxiety and stress and excitement. But there's also part of me that kind of misses it. Like, kind of misses being there. Endurance course, done. If you pass it, you do get another couple attempts before the end of your week of training, basically. Your last week of training. And some people passed it on the second attempt. Same with the 9 mile speed march. Done as a troop. And then you get marched into camp at the very end of it. Now, my experience of doing this, right? You got, so if you look at some of the equipment, the webbing right here, perfect. Look at this webbing right here, right behind me here, right? There's 2 straps that come over your shoulder from this, like this part here. He's got a little X there, so he can put some foliage in when he's doing, you know, when he's trying to camouflage himself. But this bit of webbing here, it goes over the shoulder with 2 straps. Now, at the bottom of the straps, it changes from like a material to an actual strap with some clasps. And mine snapped on the 9 mile speed march, and we were only like 2 miles in. And it was on the side that I was holding my rifle. So I had to I had to hold my rifle with this hand, and then with my left hand, I had to hold the strap as well. So for the whole run, I'm like this for the whole time. But I did it. I passed all tests first time. For those of you who aren't aware, Royal Marine PTIs, shout out to some of the best people I've ever met in my life, are legitimately unbelievably fit. Take the fittest person you know and times it by 10. That is a Royal Marines PTI. I had a PTI in training because I got injured and went into Hunter on week 23. Stapleton. You might know him, is quite infamous in Royal Marines because he was on Ultimate Fighter. A really, really good guy overall. And he was from the same place as me, Rochdale. He's actually got a gym there now. And I remember specifically him hammering me because he didn't want me to go home not as fit as what you would expect me to be. And if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have got my Green Beret. So shout out to Stapleton. What an absolute core legend. Look at CTCRM right there. God, that brings back some memories. Wow. I've not seen a picture like that in a long time. Holy. Wow. I'm kind of speechless. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. Now, there's a building at the very far back that was just being built when I was in training. Nice building. It's where I got my first passport in the military. I had one going into the military, but it's where they renewed my passport. You get marched into camp. It's a very proud moment because at this point you're halfway done with the commando test. Like I said, I passed it first try. Same with the endurance course. Let me go back here. The next test, though, the Tarzan assault course. Let me tell you about the Tarzan assault course. Now, I didn't have many run-throughs. You get quite a few run-throughs of the Tarzan assault course. I didn't have many because I remember doing something to my shoulder. I've always had problems with my shoulder. I remember doing something, and the specific run-through that day, they told me not to do it. And I can't remember why, but whatever. So the commando test of doing the Tarzan assault course was my first time running through the whole thing in a one go, and with kit on as well, and which was quite a surprise. Now, I remember passing it by like 2 seconds or something. And speaking of Stapleton, he was the guy at the top of the 30-foot wall. I climbed to the top. I'm like hanging out my hoop. I'm dying. And he goes, Jillings, you failed. And I'm like, oh. And at this point, like, you're so exhausted that you're just like, okay, right, take it on the chin. We'll try again later. And then he was like, only joking, you passed by like 2 seconds. And I remember thinking, how could you do something like that? It's such a Royal Marine thing to do when you are absolutely dying from doing one of the hardest tests in the world, to joke around and say that you failed at the end of it. Again, that was Stapleton again that did that. One of the best military members of the Royal Marines I've ever met. Legend. Here we go. Tarzan assault course, the one that I had the most issues with. Again, I only just passed. It looks simple. It's not that long. It's only 13 minutes, but my God, it is difficult. Difficult. You just got to remember the technique for everything, the different transitions between each obstacle, and then when you've got time to sprint, you have got to sprint. Look at this guy. You went for it then, didn't he? As I got told when I was learning about it, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You got to know what you're doing. The transitions are really important. Making sure you don't mess up on that. You're 30 foot in the air, you could fall and kill yourself if you're not careful. A lot of people hurt themselves on this, and the one with the rope that goes across the log, which is the next bit, this. A lot of people hurt themselves on that. Looks simple, but it's not when you're carrying that weight. After that, you run through the gate, you go down, you do the assault course on bottom field, which is also incredibly difficult, which looks simple, but it's not. By the time you're down there, you're already dying. Go on, lads. There it is. You got to do a regain. I think it didn't show that. And then onto the 30-foot wall. Seems simple enough, but my God, it is difficult. Obviously, these recruits are making it look easy at this point. They've passed all of the 32 weeks to get to the Tarzan. And then that's it. The last test. The last test is the infamous 30-miler. Now, my memories of the 30-miler, which there are very few memories of it because I was on a lot of ibuprofen and a lot of paracetamol because I had an ungodly amount of blisters on my feet, rashes all around my back from like marks from the webbing rubbing, all these different things, aching from all the tests. But my mind was in it. You know, your mind's, but when you're doing your 30-mile, your mind's in it. You stay at this little hut. No, it's not a hut. It's like a small barracks. You stay there. I remember waking up, massive amount of anticipation. It's really early in the morning. They give you you can have like fried eggs and bacon or whatever. At this point in training, you usually eat whatever you can. If you can eat as much as you can, you do. But at this point, like, there's a lot of lads being like, oh, I don't know if I should eat this, should I eat that? And you kind of have a feel of what you need to just make sure you're feeling right at that time. I specifically remember setting off, and there's a hill straight away. And I remember that first hill, it hit me. I'm at back of the troop. I'm like, oh my God, 30 miles of this? I can't do this. But there was a transition. You stop every, like, 6 miles. You get, like, a pasty, some water with some, like, electrolytes in it, and some other bits and bobs. And I specifically remember, like, the last 2 6-mile stints, I really started to be like, okay, I can do this. And there was one point where you're on roads, and I was helping push forward and dictate traffic and stuff, because I just had a burst of it. I don't know where it came from. And the 30-miler, I feel like, for me, was one of the easiest out of all the Commando tests, because at that point, when I got past the halfway mark with the 30-miler, that was it. I'm like, I'm getting my Green Beret. I'm done. Like, I'm doing this. And then I'll talk about what happened at the end when we watch this video. 30-miler. Early in the morning, yep. Completed in all weathers, of course. I think it was actually... I don't think it was raining. We did it in, like, January, February, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was raining all that much. I think it spitted a little bit. Yep. There you go. As a troop, sticking together. At this point, like, everyone's trying to help each other. You got to get it done. 40 pounds. This was specifically the part I remember where I was like, I've got this in the bag. Like, I can do this. It's right near the end. It's like I'm fine. Like, I felt fine. Like, I had a burst of that. I went past that wall and I was just able to do it. You go over that humpback bridge. I remember getting over the bridge, not specifically feeling much apart from happiness, but also just exhaustion. Until I saw my friends who were... Because you get split into, like, little teams. And I specifically saw my friends. And his bottom lip starts wobbling. My bottom lip starts wobbling. Shout out to Tom Armstrong if you're out there somewhere, my dude. I remember just both looking at each other being like, holy cow, we did it. We did it. What a magical moment. Getting your Green Beret. I remember phoning me mum and dad after I finished it. And I was just like, I'm a commando. I've done it. Obviously, you got a week of drill. You do your pass-out parade, and they do the Royal Marines 2-year duties. It's such a magical moment. It really is. But I did it, and it almost feels so surreal. 2008. No, wait. 2010 was when I got my Green Beret. What a crazy, crazy time that was. 2009, 2010. I think it just was 2010. Yeah, what a beautiful memory, but also a very, very difficult one. I don't do many videos about my time in the Royal Marines anymore, just because I feel like I've kind of evolved that now as a person. You know, it was a long time ago. I spent 4 years in the Royal Marines from ages 16 to 20. I'm now 30. It's been 10 years since I left. I've changed as a person. I'm not the same person I was when I was in the Marines, nor am I the same person as when I left the Royal Marines. I've learned more about myself in the past 10 years than ever before. But with that being said, I never regret what I did, although I didn't have the most successful career once I got my Green Beret, which I've talked over that in the past. I'm proud of what I did, and, you know, it gave me some of the core, how can you say it, ethos. The Commando ethos really gave me my core values as a person, and the things that still hold up today. Integrity, cheerfulness in the face of adversity, all that lot, which you'd learn if you're going into the Royal Marines. Definitely made me the man I am today. Very important to me. And no matter what hardship I go through, there's always that little, even if I'm just going for a jog and I'm struggling that day, there's that little thing in the back of the mind going, you earned a Green Beret. You're a Royal Marines Commando. You've earned a Green Beret. And there's not many people that can say that. And I'm very proud of that. If you're thinking of joining the Royal Marines, good luck. It's one of the trippiest things I've ever done. I've had some of the best times of my life and some of the worst times of my life in the Royal Marines. and it's quite something. So if you're thinking about doing it, let me know in the comment section down below. If you've got any questions, leave in the comment section down below. If you want some of my active camouflage hat, which is just a green hat, my merch is linked down below. If you buy anything, you get a private video sent to you by me. It helps support me and the channel. It helps me support these adventures that I'm on in the bus, traveling the country. Hopefully we get to see some beautiful sites that have historical value when it comes to the military that I'd love to see. I'm in Texas right now, and I'd love to go to the Alamo. That's something I'm very interested in going and seeing. Other than that, guys, members, you're beautiful, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. Couldn't make videos every single day if it wasn't for these beautiful people right here. So thank you for supporting the channel as much as you do. I genuinely appreciate it. If you want to hear more about my time in the Royal Marines, which is a very rare occasion these days, let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.